Doom Patrol, Season 4, Episode 3, Nostalgia Patrol. This show's great, isn't it? Isn't it nice to have like one of these types of programs in the superhero comic book bubble come to television that perfectly accurately depicts this genre? It's so fun. It's been happening a lot this year. More than any other year, I would say, like Sandman and She-Hulk, Stargirl, and this show, like, it's good. Doom Patrol's been fun, and this season continues to impress me, and this time around, you're just like, yeah, man, we're just doing some good old-fashioned episodic storytelling. One-off episodes about characters talking about their past and moving on and coming together. That's what you want to see. That's what you do with these kind of things. That's a comic book. You have an idea, so mediocre, just one issue needed. And that is what this episode feels like. But it's still very strong. Still well written. Still cool. I love it. This show is just amazing. And this episode is great. Every character kind of gets their moment to do something, which is very impressive. This is a very Rita heavy episode though, which makes sense. We've kind of made her the central character of this season, where she is the team leader who is ousted as team leader and she's upset at her friends about it. But she's still trying to figure out her place in the world, and it's definitely her emotional arc that is leading us through a lot of the events that are taking place in this season. In this episode, she finds a flyer for a film appreciation of the life of Rita Farr, and she goes to this local art house to watch old Rita Farr movies, and suddenly she's transported into the movies. Cool. Comic booky enough, it works, and when we do that, we of course get the set changes, we get the aesthetic changes, black and white, old school sepia stuff. Oof, is it fun. I love that. When a show like this, in a genre like this, can effortlessly just switch the color palette, switch the style of filmmaking, and make it look good and fun, it's very cool to see. And April Bowlby, I'm obsessed with this woman. She looks stunning again in this episode. Perfect. She just looks like a girl from that era of like the 50s and 60s. She is so beautiful and so fun in this. And when her storyline connects with her friends later, it's really cool to see. But just her like, after it all, why not? Why shouldn't I be allowed to reenact these parts of my life? I'm going to do it. So she does. And we're all the happier for it. Just seeing her happy makes us happy, right? It's really cool. But of course, everyone kind of has their own journey to go on. Larry is still figuring out the connection with Keeg, how he wants to connect that together, while still trying to maintain a way to balance out his friendship with Rita. They really hone in on him understanding Rita more than any of them. Maybe it's because they're the closest in generation where he is like of that era where he liked that kind of stuff. Like he instantly recognizes, oh, her movies, that's of course it's just their friendship. But also, yeah, why wouldn't Larry Trainer no secret rendezvous? Of course he would. He was a man in that era hiding himself from the own world. So yeah, of course he would know what that feels like and what that's about. I think that's an incredibly smart move to do. His arc's really fun. Vic gets a lot to do. I love Vic's story. They continue to impress me with how to write Cyborg, where he heads back to Detroit, meets his old friends. They hang out at their own haunt. He's not really attached to like the main plot of like the actual Nostalgia Patrol, but he's doing his own type of nostalgia, where he is experiencing his old friends, trying to connect with them again about what life is, what all matters, everything like that. And you see the hesitation in their voices where they don't want to bring up his mother. They don't know how to talk to him. And his oldest friend just kind of like, you were gone for 10 years. Like, I lost my friend. I lost a lot. You can't just walk back in and expect things to be okay. Like, you had to find yourself, sure. But you can't just come back now and have everything be normal. Like, we've experienced life and we've had actual trauma. And one of my favorite lines in this entire episode is because they used to be the robotics team and they were building this robot they named Mr. Invincible, and he calls Vic Mr. Invincible. He's like, you were being Mr. Invincible while the rest of us are being vulnerable. And I'm like, damn, that's a really good use of Cyborg, where it's like, yeah, he is essentially this hero who came from a bad area around people who understand the trauma associated with that area, and he rose to the top but never looked back, essentially. Like, that is a smart decision to make for that character. It's kind of impressive, kind of fun to see. Like what they do with Vic, it never ceases to amaze me. And then Jane also has a great arc this episode where she's trying to figure out how is she going to solve the puzzle. In the puzzle piece, she finds the Eye of the Mist, a character we met last season, and the Mist Flex Mentalis her a little bit, which I love the callback to that. I love every interaction with Jane and Cliff in this episode, were like the Scooby-Doo gang in their way through the old the haunting of White House or something, of White Manor. And he's like, there's one thing I miss. It's an orgasm. Just her, like, it was the sweetest I've ever been touched, and I've never felt that before. And I don't understand why she did that to me, if it was her, or if it was even real, or what any of those feelings were. But it was weird. And Cliff's like, who cares? So what if she's evil? So what if any of that matters? You felt something you like. Stop worrying about other people. You just had a nice orgasm. Let it go. You're fine. You're having a good time. Everything's great. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That is kind of fun. And that comes about because they get sucked into the pictures of Rita. Thus, the Nostalgia Patrol comes on. They are walking through Rita's old pictures. So Cliff and Jane are trapped in, like, the haunting of White Manor. We see that Larry goes through Secret Rendezvous and he meets this beautiful man. He's like, oh, okay. Then I guess I'm going to follow this guy, figure out where we're going. And that all leads to, what was the name of the failed sci-fi movie? Sportaticus 4? Or something like that. Just like an old, it's Rita's first bomb. But Larry loves it. They're all dressed up in classic Star Trek uniforms. It's so good. Look at that. Look at that. It's awesome, man. Even Larry, when they take Larry out of the jacket and just keep like the mummy aesthetic, but he's wearing different clothes, it's hilarious. They stick it on Cliff. It is so funny. And it's just, who's the villain here? It's Dr. Janice. She is working for Immortus, our big villain, who will be appearing sometime this season. I gotta know more about this Immortus. I can't remember who it is, but we'll have to figure that out. But it's really exciting. And this guy who is with Larry for a little bit of the inside of the movie magic, he is Mr. 104. And on the periodic table, I looked this up. That is Rutherfordium. Don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but cool. My first reaction was like, oh, a guy on the periodic table of elements. Are we doing the Metal Men? Please? Could we please do the Metal Men? Do you know how great a Metal Men show in this Doom Patrol aesthetic would be? I'd lose my mind. That'd be amazing. And so freaking fun. But now they get captured in like a weird space planet. There's lava over a bridge. Rita has a beautiful monologue where she's just said, I didn't have anything for a long time. I have you. You're my weird friends. I love you all more than life itself. I will die for you, or I'll die trying to save you. And it's a beautiful moment. And eventually the family is saved by Keeg. And I'm like, that's kind of fun. Wrapping it up like that where Larry can't control his baby and the baby comes to save them. I'm on board. Well, save them. Loose being the term there, because it looks like Rita is in a coma or something. It's like, damn, dude, this is so fun. A show like this, 4 seasons in, still impressing me if its aesthetic is great. Still seeing every actor on this show give it their all. I'm impressed with April in this episode. I'm impressed with Diane in this episode. Skye was really fun. Just her monologue of just, I'm drunk. I can't fight this thing. I might have to give up. What am I doing? What is anything? Life is hurting me. I'm scared. I'm alone. What do I do? It's incredibly smart. The writing is incredibly smart. Just every character looking for that thing that makes them happy, but never actually finding it or how to do it the right way. It's very impressive. I like it. Just so many small details in this episode that made me happy. I love that when Vic is playing laser tag with his friends, he's holding his arm out like it's the cannon from when he was Cyborg. Like, that's how he knows how to fight. That's how he knows how to use his power. So, of course, that is how he's going to behave and do things. It's very fun, very cool. I love Larry knowing all her movies. That makes me so happy. I love the buckets of popcorn that Rita has because she can eat anything. The 2 full chickens she's eating while she's watching the movie at the beginning. I love this show. And look, I'm just going to say it, James Gunn, if you're listening, and I know you're not. There is no main actor in this universe. They don't show you a Cavill or a Miller. So you could easily just slot this Doom Patrol of this cast into your new universe, and we'd all be the happier for it because I don't want to see this go away. 4 seasons is great. Let's keep going. I have a feeling it might. I don't know, man. It's awesome. Makes me so happy. This episode, very strong. The callbacks were fun. The acting was strong. Everything works so well in a show like this. It manages to impress me more and more every week. I love this Doom Patrol show. The fact that it's this far in and still doing great. Testament to this universe, man. Testament to everything involved in this process because it's very impressive and awesome to see. So that is going to do it for this review of Doom Patrol Season 4, Episode 3. Don't know why I said it like that, but I did. Thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.